how you can start to reach unconditional love, not only for yourself, but also showing that to the whole world around you, and that being your new stable way of being, so that you're that way 100% of the time. And when you're that way 100% of the time, it's going to be attracted to you 100% of the time. I have this graph here, right, of reaching unconditional love that I have made. And there's basically 3 points to this that I created. This is something that I have practiced. It has been my new stable way of being for the past month of November. So I'm very grateful for that. I was in a different state not too long ago of like conditional love, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can get there to that being your new and normal state of being your new baseline to literally attract everything that you want in life as well. By the end of this video though, my goal is to really just have you take something that you can start to implement into your life, however that looks like for you. So let's get into the 3 points of reaching unconditional love. So the first point that we're going to look at is what is in between what I want and where I'm at now. And the truth is a block. There's a block that is subconsciously within your mind, blocking you from becoming or achieving unconditionally loved, whether that's within yourself or other people, or just how you are at your normal baseline, right? And this all comes down to your thoughts, to your self-concepts, to your belief. And I'm gonna give some examples for each of them, what you might be thinking, feeling, or believing about yourself. That all ties into your self-concept, which is your way of thinking about your own self. And that ties in together. All of these 3 actually tie together, and it shapes you as a whole human being, as who you are. So some of the blocks, as in thoughts, right? You might be thinking like there has to be conditions for what I want. Maybe you feel like you're not good enough to receive what you want, that you might be unworthy of receiving what you want with no conditions. It might be unfamiliar, like you don't know what it looks like. You've never seen it before. You've only seen like conditions, as in, okay, I do something, I'm getting this in return. But when there's no conditions, it's like you're doing something, but you're not expecting anything in return. You're just letting it be as it's meant to be. And with whatever you get from it, and you're not really attached to the outcome. You've just done it because your intention is more pure, full of unconditional love, abundance, whatever you want to call it. You're not really paying attention to the outcome of what you're going to get, because you're just paying attention to the intention instead of the outcome. So these are some of the thoughts that you might be having. And honestly, this kind of ties into a little bit of beliefs, but we're going to get there next. Like I said, you might feel like you're not good enough to attract what you want, as in receiving something for free without having to do anything. Like you have to work so hard to get it. There has to be something behind it. You might feel like you're not good enough, that there's always going to be strings attached to what you want. And whatever you feel like, okay, I do something for them, I do something for this person, and then they do it back for me, and you're holding on to that. It's like a relationship with strings attached. And this isn't on purpose, by the way. It's just something that might have been normalized to you in the past, or just your way of being up until this point, to where it was normalized for you and familiar. And our goal here is to get you into the exact opposite, which is the solid belief patterns, thoughts, and self-concept. And to get there, we have to look at the blocks and actually take a look at them, see them for how they are affecting you in real time. And then we want to start to remove them and actually implant new seeds of who you want to become, which is that abundant person, attracting unconditional love, unconditional abundance, literally with no strings attached, and knowing that it's available to you at all times without you having to do something in return for it. So like I said, you might have like this mentality of, okay, I do something for someone else. All right, I'm gonna hold that in my mind and be like, oh, I did that for them last time, they've got to do this for me next time. So it's just like you're holding people to like do things for you, and the main focus in the mind, really focusing on what you're getting instead of what you're putting into it. And that's going to be one of the main turn points within this. So let's go to the self-concept. Your self-concept is basically the added thoughts and the beliefs, both of them. And this is who you are underneath everything, who you believe yourself to be. It influences everything about you. So now that we got to the blocks of, you know, what is actually preventing me from stepping into unconditional love, unconditional abundance for myself, it's going to start with you. Because the way that you view yourself and how your internal world and landscaping is like primed, how you view yourself internally is going to be reflected outside externally. So once you start to practice this inside and remove the blocks intentionally and choose a different way of being every single day and just repeat it and stack up, you know, evidence to believing that to be true about yourself, your new way of thinking and your new way of believing things about yourself is going to change dramatically. And this is from personal experience. So let's get into point number 2, which is how to actually start practicing this. Like, you can say, okay, I have these blocks. Okay, I know all of these things, but the actual hardest part is, I wouldn't say hard, I'd say it's more challenging, is to start practicing this daily. This is a daily practice, not something you realize about yourself and you're like, okay, I know that about myself. All right, let's think about that later. We're not doing that over here. When you make it a daily practice, you're compounding it to literally be like compounded effort over the weeks that follow, the months, the years that follow, to where you're literally a new person. And that's when you start to change your self-concept, your self-image. Literally, your whole identity is going to shift. Now, how do we start to practice this? Like I said before, it all starts with you internally. Nothing externally is going to fix this for you or change this for you. You have to decide to go deep within yourself and to start with the internal changes, to start aligning yourself to who you want to become, removing all of the old gunk that you know you don't want to come with you into the next level version of yourself, and let that stop you anymore. Fully step into this unconditional love and abundance literally at your new state of being. It's normalized for you. Like, you don't even have to guess, you don't even feel anxious towards it. You just know that you're naturally going to receive it, and this is how your life is. It's normal, it's familiar. So it all starts with you. Yes, we're going to take that internal action, but we also need external action to match up to it. And this is the most important thing to do whenever you're doing any internal work, is to also put in place something external to help ground you. So if you think of internal action as in like the feminine is more like chaotic, full of flow. Internally, you're just becoming this person, right? So it might feel overwhelming. It might feel like a lot to start to change within yourself, and it's gonna feel uncomfortable because you're becoming somebody new. But when you ground yourself with something external and bring you along that process, it's really like a foundation. It's like support to carry you throughout the internal changes. You can think of that as like a masculine, like you're really combining your own internal energies, if you want to speak of it in that way of being, that those energies inside of you to merge together to create literally true alignment for yourself. So with the internal, you're embodying, this is who you're becoming. This is your way of being that you're stepping into. You're rewiring your mind, your thoughts, your beliefs in the present moment. You're literally deciding you want to be different. You're viewing your thoughts and you're really reflecting on what you actually want to choose to believe now, instead of going with that first thought that you might have believed up until this point. So with this new internal action, you're challenging your old thoughts, your old beliefs, because you know that those old thoughts and beliefs are not going to get you to the new level of what you actually want to be at. So now when we look at external, we also want to take aligned action to match that state. When you take aligned external and you do internal action as well, you're literally a recipe for literally abundance, success, alignment. Everything what you want to achieve is going to be given to you, because you are literally a whole match. Because you're taking the internal, you're taking the external. Imagine how far you could come, who you could become along the way. Let me give an example. So say that you're embodying this version of you internally. You're breaking all of these old thought patterns, these old belief patterns of what you thought was true before. You're intentionally reflecting on what used to be true for you. And now you're just like, no, we're not doing that anymore. I'm challenging that thought. We're going to do something new. And while you're thinking of that, an external action can be added to that internal embodiment to help you change your state. Say that your goal is to become a secure and more confident person, right? Maybe the old internal rewiring of you, let's say that you're in public, right? And like you want to take a video of yourself walking down the street. The old internal wiring, thoughts, belief patterns that might have been running up until this point is like, oh no, people are judging me. They're paying attention to me. What if they think I'm weird? All of these things compounded. The thoughts were already there. And then we have the belief patterns that shape it negatively for you. It's like a lens of like, I'm viewing this already in a negative way. So the behavior matched to it, to what was your normal baseline, and your normal behavior up until this point now has been, I'm not going to do it at all. Because my thought in the beginning was already, they might be judging me. They might think I'm weird. I don't want to do this. I don't want people to look at me. But if you keep going down that path, you're going to get the same exact result. So that's important to why, all right, next time we go in public and we walk somewhere and we want to take a video, maybe the initial thoughts will be there like, oh no, people are going to look at me. What if they judge me? And then you literally start to challenge your own thoughts and your own beliefs, saying, They can. Maybe they're actually not. Maybe they're just looking at me and being like, oh, interesting. What are they doing? Interesting. I haven't seen anyone do that today. Interesting. And also, maybe they're looking at you in a neutral way. Maybe they're just looking at you and just seeing what you're doing without any judgment. When you start to prime your mind and start to believe, have that be as your new normal thought patterns and belief patterns about that exact thing, that exact action of like recording yourself or being in public and wanting to do something in public, it will start to change your behavior. So the external action would be you literally taking your phone out and deciding to believe your new way of being. That's the external action of you taking the aligned action of what your new way of thinking is, which is maybe they're looking at me neutrally. Maybe they don't actually care. Maybe they're just looking at me and thinking, oh, interesting, like literally fully neutral. So you start to believe that and you take that exact action of pulling your phone out, taking a video, and then after telling yourself, okay, see, nothing happened. It wasn't even bad. You then start to prove to yourself you can do it. Once you start doing this process with all areas of life, it becomes more easier and it is going to be how you function normally. And nothing is ever going to stop you, prevent you from where you actually want to be ever again. Let's get back into this. This will change your beliefs to be true. Like the new way of thinking that you had after the initial thought, that is going to solidify into new beliefs about what you believe to be true once you start to repeat it long enough. And this leads to a new self-concept of being able to give and receive and also deserve unconditional love. Now, in that way, you're still changing the way that you think about yourself internally and externally as well. And when you start to do this as in with unconditional love, for an example of like, okay, I'm gonna give to this person without expecting anything. And even if you have those thoughts of like, oh no, they did this for me, why don't they do this for me? You challenge that thought and you decide to just give without expecting. And once you start to do it and tell yourself, you know what, I'm gonna let it go, then you will literally start to create a pile of evidence of like, okay, actually I've done it and I've received even without me asking. Because once I'm giving more without asking, it's gonna be brought back to you without even any conditions of what you used to thought to be true. Because your action out into the world is going to be one of giving without expecting, and that's going to be given back to you. And once you see that proof of you giving, you receiving without conditions, that is going to be true for you all of the time. And you're going to just start to believe that you deserve it because you now know it's possible for you. Instead of that old familiar way of being, which was maybe conditional love, strings attached, etc., etc. Let's get quickly into the last third point. These are 4 things that I'm going to have you take away for this video. And the first one is treat people in a way that you never have before. Now, this is externally you giving that to somebody else without needing anything in return. Treat people in a different way you haven't ever before. And then that will start to internalize and you will start to do that exactly with yourself. Treat yourself in a way that you never have before. This starts internally. When you start to do that, you're going to see it in your external world. Do things you've never done before. And lastly, like I said before, pay attention to the practice and the proof that you're receiving back from the world around you, because it's always going to be a reflection and there's always going to be a lesson to take with everything that you do. When you pay really close attention to what you're receiving, what you're getting, and everything from in your own mind or to the world around you, you are going to be able to see, oh, that happened and I didn't have to do anything. Oh, wow, this can happen for me. So it's like validation and proof that you're on the right track and you're actually able to normalize this. Like I said, it's going to be your new baseline, your new norm, your new way of being. After you practice it for long enough, you are going to become it. And that is the craziest feeling in the world. So that is all I have for you today on how to reach unconditional love. Hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next video.